I've earned it. Out there fighting, where you should be.
It is clear why the Reapers perceive you as a threat. Your victories are more than a product of chance. We will fight, but not for you or any lesser race. We were the first, the apex race. We will survive. And the Reapers who trespass on this world will understand our power. They will become our slaves. Today, they pay their tribute in blood.
No, don't.
Nice.
As we all know, Mass Effect 3 ending was slightly controversial, to say the least. Controversial so much that people could not accept the condition of the franchise, which was left behind by ME3. You know, the thing about art is that it evokes in each of us unique feelings and emotions that cannot be told to others verbally effectively. I mean, you can, but the other person will just imagine your feelings by your description, but that person will never feel your emotions because those feelings are only yours. Each of us perceives music, films, books or games differently. What will remain in us is ours and only ours. Due to this, it isn't surprising that fans, in search for their own, let's say, catharsis, began to create their own trilogy endings and thus adopt their own canon. Why? Because art awakens in us feelings and emotions that are ours and only ours. Therefore, each of us establishes our own canon. Art has specific creators, but many owners. We are the owners of emotions that art awakens in us. Therefore, for me, the canonical ending of the trilogy is Mass Effect 3 Happy Ending mod. At the beginning, I would like to point out that I respect people who like the original ending of the trilogy.
Your Mac friend, Brent Rambo.
I enjoy this fact because there is nothing wrong with liking anything. If someone is happy about something and doesn't harm other people by liking this thing, then I am happy that someone is happy. Do you get the idea? In search of the aforementioned satisfaction catharsis, I discovered Mass Effect 3 Happy Ending mod, and this modification tries to fix some issues about vanilla ending, but not all of them. Right now let's focus on three major problems which are addressed in this modification. Leaving Shepard to die, lack of good ending on our terms due to hard work and unity, which I covered in my other video, I highly recommend it, presence of the catalyst, and reducing the role of Harbinger. I understand that there may be voices saying that Renegade Shepard may not deserve rescue because it has been following and justifies the means path. However, I would like to point out one thing. Even Renegade Shepard is able to see and appreciate the value of a good soldier, which can be seen during a suicide mission where, despite exploding platform, he rushes to save one of the members of our crew. In my case, Shepard was mostly Paragon, and the person Shepard tried to save was Garrus or Miranda, because those two are the main crew members which I always take to the final push during the suicide mission. Let's assume it was Garrus. Remember that for later.
I'm Garrus Vicarian, and this is my rectum.
Oh, sh**.
Some of you may say that Shepard can still be such a dick that she or he is not worth saving. And I can agree with that. However, here should be consequences which we should take for being a dick for the crew. Unfortunately, this isn't here, and currently no modification introduces such change. So, taking all of this into account, I don't think leaving Shepard to die fits to the story, especially if our Shepard followed the Paragon path, which according to biostatistics most players followed. It can be assumed that Paragon Shepard is more canonical than Renegade, but again, this is your own canon and your own ending. Having this in mind, leaving Shepard to die makes no sense. It totally disconnects narrative from the rest of the trilogy and leaves us with middle finger. Some of you may say that, well, Shepard is probably dead at that point, so who cares? And I will tell you that your argument is invalid because we all care about Shepard. Let's dive for a single moment to this wonderful scene.
All fleets, the Crucible is armed. Disengage and head to the rendezvous point.
Here, we have Hackett, who suddenly forgets about Shepard and leaves him behind. At least we know that Hackett was responsible for, well, more than one ship. But still, it makes no sense considering how huge respect Hackett has for Shepard. This plot hole isn't fixed, so I will leave it there, and after this we can see that monstrosity.
Joker, listen. We have to go. Damn it.
What? What the f***?
Joker, listen. We have to go.
Garrus? Oh my good lord. Oh, thank fucking Christ.
Jeff, we need to go.
You serious?
This makes even less sense. This makes no sense. It breaks with everything which we were building throughout the entire trilogy with our crew, because literally no one on the Normandy, except if your Shepard is a dick, isn't that disrespectful for their commander. This modification deals with that perfectly. Everything starts at the beginning of the game when we receive a message from person who was saved by Shepard from collectors during Mass Effect 2 on Horizon or something like that. We get nicely written mail and name of the ship. We also get information that they are grateful and that they will fight with Shepard when the time comes, because Shepard has many people watching his back. Guess what happens next?
All fleets, the Crucible is armed. Disengage and head to the rendezvous point. I repeat, disengage and get the hell out of here.
No! We just have to...
Normandy, this is Captain Fall aboard the SSV Nuremberg. If you're going after Shepard, we've got your back.
I'm glad you're in charge. Thanks.
Hard on my flank! We're going in!
You get the idea. What I like in this mod is how it shows more than one ship fighting with Reapers just for Shepard. One special person who is pure embodiment of the best traits which humanity has to offer. Yes, the execution isn't perfect when you think about video quality of this mod, but effort and work can be clearly noticed and appreciated, especially when we see these 3D renders of the Normandy flying between Reapers. I like how Joker is hesitating to leave Shepard to die and refuses doing so. Very in character in my opinion. Other ships firing and fighting with Reapers for Shepard is just poetic. All this, it all represents how Shepard is important for others, how he is the avatar of this cycle in relation to the narrative. Pure gold.
Normandy, Shepard is alive.
No good ending. Yes, I know this sounds pathetic. However, I realize that not every story has to end well, but if the game story is written in a way that might suggest to us that the story might end well, if we as gamers will try hard enough, it makes a lot of sense and it don't look that pathetic in the end. I talked about this in my previous video on my channel, I highly recommend it. In a nutshell, the point is that Mass Effect 3 was done in huge rush, and it is very likely that the writers at BioWare were split into several teams, which each writing a separate section of the story. Where this conclusion came from? Because it is clearly visible that some moments of Mass Effect 3 story follows the footsteps of the previous two games, aka if we try hard enough, if we stand united and prepared, we have a chance to defeat the Reapers. Why? This is a short example from my previous video. All organic and synthetic life for every 50,000 years. So, during the whole trilogy, the possibility of defeating the Reapers was built despite the small chances, despite their superior technology and all that crap. The main elements of the Reaper's strategy are surprise attack. When the Reapers pass through the Citadel relay, they start an immediate attack and take over the station. Then they are gathering information, because Reapers having a Citadel, they also have all that information about fleets, strategies, planets, population, etc. Then they are cutting off communication through access to the Citadel and precise attacks on the convoys. They simply prevent communication between the remaining races in the galaxy. Then they are attacking isolated planets which were cut off from the rest, and for the most part they are relying on this technological advantage and firepower. And over the first Mass Effect, by preventing the Reapers from passing through the Citadel relay and by just simply delaying the invasion, we took away their surprise attack, information, cutting communication and attacking isolated planets. The only thing that left for the Reapers is reliance on strength and technological advantage, and in the course of Mass Effect 2 we see how slowly we begin to adapt their technology, and in Mass Effect 3 we will start using it against them. Thanks to all of this effort, delaying the invasion and all that shit, we are now able to defeat the Reapers in a conventional way, without the Crucible, right? No, someone came up with those stupid fucking idea with Crucible, because
conventionally we can't defeat the Reapers without the Crucible.
Meanwhile, other parts of Mass Effect 3 plot tell the opposite theme, that you can't win the war, you're already dead and we are fucked. No hope, no future, blah blah blah. I get it, it can work, but you have to build that foundation for this type of ending, and You didn't build that foundation because previous two games told the other story. Therefore, I believe that looking through previous parts of the trilogy, we should be able to overcome the Reapers despite the unfavorable situation and their advanced technology. In my opinion, it makes a lot of sense. Therefore, the happy ending presented in this modification makes huge amount of sense. Yeah, I think that this one bullet point on my list was very easy to predict. I don't like Catalyst that much. I can see what they were trying to do, but this isn't it, and I'm not going to try to explain this because hundreds or maybe even thousands of videos and people already did that and thought people are much smarter than me, so yeah. However, you may ask how this mod is fixing this issue. Good question. Like this.
Commander, throw it out the airlock.
No, don't.
It just completely removes it from the equation. No conversation at the end, no 4 bad choices, no synthetic life, genocide, etc. No middle finger to Gav and ED. We only get Shepard rescue scene and sweet moment after that with our love interest. It is just that simple, we don't need that dialogue because we have a better one already with Illusive Man, which was excellent in my opinion. What removing Starchild also does is giving us some room for theories and ideas which aren't explained by the game itself. What Mass Effect 2 does pretty well is establishing main villain of the franchise on the Reaper side and gives us impression that Harbinger is very unique Reaper. After finishing second game we are left with a feeling that this Reaper is different in some way, maybe even being the most important of the franchise. He clearly has a plan with humanity, with collectors. He is very interested in preserving Shepard or even his body. He keeps talking about that genetic ascension. Mystery behind mystery. What Mass Effect 3 does pretty well is ejecting all of that and giving us Catalyst instead. No more mystery, no more huge importance built by Mass Effect 2. What Mass Effect 3 Happy Ending mod does pretty well is giving us room for interpretation of some key aspects of Harbinger's image when we consider that final conversation with Catalyst is gone. Remember, because this is important, Catalyst still exists, but the final conversation with him never happens. We never saw and we never will going to see the Catalyst itself. Or maybe, after speaking with the Leviathans in the Leviathans DLC, we are left with 3 main things. Leviathan's intelligence was very sophisticated and was gathering information around galaxy, searching for the solution to extinction problem. It created army of pawns that searched the galaxy gathering data. It chose Leviathan's kind to the first harvest. From this, first Reaper was created, Harbinger. Sounds familiar? Let's just dive in for a second into Harbinger's image after Mass Effect 2. Harbinger is a very sophisticated Reaper and is gathering information around galaxy, searching for the solution to the extinction problem. He created army of pawns and searched the galaxy gathering data, and it was made from the essence of the first kind, from the Leviathans themselves, and he was the first Reaper. This is a huge retcon and just me imagining things, but I think this fits very well when we consider that this freaking conversation never happens. That's why I like Mass Effect 3 Happy Ending mod, because it removes this freaking conversation. It removes leaving Shepard to die scene. It brings some kind of importance to the Harbinger's image, despite that this is just me imagining things. It brings back this main theme of the franchise, which is the win despite unfavorable chances, despite just the impossible odds, by unity, effort and hope. But again, this is just my canon. As I said before, what's ours is ours, full stop. It's a shame that I have to imagine some things like that. However, I prefer to have that empty space and small bits of information and room for interpretation, rather than vanilla conversation with Catalyst, which is completely removing importance of Harbinger at all.